In this weekly 5, we want to look at the T-TESS dimension 2.1, which is achieving expectations. So whereas in dimension 1 we were talking about the planning stage, in dimensions 2 and 3 we're looking at the actual performance of the teacher in the classroom. And so a lot of the evidence that's going to be gathered for this will be in that formal evaluation, although there will be some that comes from the pre-conference that you'll have with the individual that is appraising you. And so when we look at 2.1, it's the teacher supports all learners in their pursuit of high levels of academic and social emotional success. And this statement actually talks about some of the important components here. You're supporting the learners in the learners' pursuit of high levels. So you get the learners involved and try to make them as autonomous as you can throughout the process. And so you can see as you move from proficient to distinguished, what you're looking at here is that the teacher provides opportunities for students to establish these high expectations. And note that not only we're talking about academic, but we're talking about the ability to work in groups and be productive members of any social situation. That you also in distinguished, you definitely want to see that persistence until they get to actually understand what the overall objective is and understand it in multiple contexts. And you want to provide opportunities for the students to self-monitor. And then you also want to have a shared component of the goal setting that you develop in the classroom with the students. So what do we look at from teachers is that when you go in there and actually you kind of look at this as how the students have taken the overall classroom environment and taken ownership themselves. And so there needs to be evidence of persistence on the part of the students, that when things don't go well early on, they keep working at it until they understand it. You want to see that students feel like they are a part of the overall goals of the classroom. You want students to be able to monitor their own progress, to take ownership for their own education. And through the monitoring of that process, that they actually know where they stand on various objectives and various standards that they're going to be held accountable for. And then you also want the students to be able to personally set high expectations for themselves in whatever they're doing. An administrator that's going to go through is going to look for the following things: self-monitoring behavior on the part of the students. Students that very similarly hold themselves accountable for both academic and social behaviors. That the students are involved in the goal setting and help set very high goals for themselves, but reasonable and attainable goals, but that they're not keeping them down low, but they're trying to get deeper with the subject matter. And that students know their status, so they know what progress they're making in regard to both academic and social goals. At UT Tyler, we want to be a part of anything you have going on. And so if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.